Samantha Chian, your host with Spirit of Nevada. This episode is brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm, helping families and injured victims throughout Nevada for over 40 years. Hope you enjoy the show. It's not who you are that matters. It's what you do for others that counts. Animals remind us to show unconditional love. And sometimes, to change the world, it takes the tiniest of spirits. Hi everyone, Samantha here. We just arrived to Tiny Spirits and I'm really excited to be here because I have a special story for you all. A local hero by the name of Gale is going to give us a tour of the place and telling us a little bit about how she's using miniature horses to heal our community. I think I see her right over there.
Hi, Samantha.
Hi Gale, good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm so glad you could make it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, come on in. Let me show you what we're doing here.
Wow, this is quite a big place that you have.
It's perfect for the mini horses. So this is our facility for Tiny Spirits. It's a 5-stall barn. This particular area is our wash rack. We have hot and cold water.
That comes out of here?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's where we bathe the miniature horses. We bathe them before each visit because they need to be incredibly clean since we're going in to visit people that are medically fragile. Yes, and our shampoo and our brushes.
Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay. Like to show everybody what goes into making
loaded.
sure these miniatures stay clean before visiting friends and family and new friends, right?
New friends, absolutely. The next area of the barn is what we call a tack room. It's where all the equipment is stored. So come on in. And this is one of our volunteers, Jolynn Kirkman.
Hi.
And
nice to meet you too.
Yes, and she's organizing all of our vests and halters.
Okay,
and
so here they have, oh look at, they even have their names on them. Here's Wesley and here's Duet.
Yes.
Oh, and what are these?
Those are for my big horses. Those are bits
that
go hang on their bridles. This down here is all miniatures.
Take a look at this. Look at how cute these shoes are. Wait, are these for the miniatures?
Yeah, those are Build-A-Bear workshop shoes.
How cute is that?
So when we're doing a visit that doesn't involve a lot of walking, they wear those.
I'm sure the kids love seeing
Everybody
these
loves
shoes.
the Build-A-Bear, yes. And we actually go to Build-A-Bear in downtown Summerlin, and they let us come in the store and pick out what we want.
That they can go into retail shops.
They can absolutely, yes. They're potty trained. And so there is the handler with the miniature horse holding the lead, and then we have our backpack volunteer who follows the team with this backpack full of supplies.
So typically 2 people go out when you're visiting the hospital?
Yes. Yes, definitely. We go with 2 people because it just helps the visit be smoother, and the handler isn't worried about getting things out of the backpack that they might use. They're being handed this.
And that could be you.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, what else do we have down here?
So the next stall is not a miniature. This is a huge Skechers big riding horse.
Hi, Skechers.
Named Skechers. But he gets in on the party too sometimes.
Fun.
When people come to the ranch. But he is not a therapy horse.
But he's not shy, I will tell you that much.
He's not. He's a big personality. And our next stall is our minis.
Oh, look at how adorable they are.
And this is Christy Keller, another one of our volunteers.
Hi, Christy.
So we use volunteers for help around the barn in terms of cleaning and bathing and grooming, as well as going out on calls and feeding, yes. And they're having lunch right now, so that's their hay.
How many times do they eat in a day?
3 times. feed them 3 times.
Kind of like me. I eat 3 times a day on my schedule.
Absolutely, yes.
So tell me, introduce me to each one.
Okay,
if you
so
would.
the blonde one is Westley. He's a 4-year-old American miniature horse. That is an actual breed. He is registered.
And when you say miniature, for those that are watching, what classifies it to be a miniature horse versus a regular horse?
It's an actual breed of horse. It's not a pony. And they have bred over the years to actually take a full-size horse and shrink them down so they're proportionate. And they have their own shows and registration.
Yeah.
And they are small. So he is only 30 inches.
And tell me a little bit about his personality. What is Wesley's personality?
He is so sweet, and he loves people, and he wants to interact, loves children. He's very calm, very, very calm.
And tell me about the other miniature.
Okay, the one that's hiding in the corner here is a mare. She's a black mare. She is also only 30 inches tall, and she's 4 years old as well, and registered. So Wesley came from Washington State, and Duet came from Oregon.
And how did you decide that these two were the ones that were going to be designated for therapy?
Visits up there to each facility, and also the breeders were amazing at being able to refer me to the ones that would probably suit best for therapy.
Gale was so astute to recognize long before COVID came along that this community in Las Vegas, we together, that she recognized the power of miniature horses to be able to heal others, whether that be somebody recovering from a long-term illness, somebody with a physical impairment, somebody with anxiety and depression. And now, more than ever, because of COVID and the isolation and the loneliness that's been brought on with the lockdowns, the miniature horses are going to be in greater demand. And so Gale's organization is going to help heal the community for years to come. I retired from the school district as a lifelong educator, and this is something that speaks to my heart, and I really enjoy going on the visits and seeing the clients interact and come to life. They ignite when they get to interact with these miniature horses, and there's just nothing like it. It's special sauce that you can't create anywhere else.
What was that moment where you were thinking, okay, I want to get some miniatures and help out that community because I know that there's a need?
Well, it stemmed from my own healing process with horses, through a journey through cancer for myself and understanding how
it must have been hard.
It's a growth thing. So yeah. it's good.
But you're here now, and you're stronger than
yes.
ever. That's what counts.
And I know what an equine can do. There are already facilities that do the equine riding, but there was nobody in town that was actually bringing horses inside buildings to visit people in hospice, in hospitals, in memory care and rehabilitation, and autism centers. So it's a way for people to experience horses that would not otherwise have a chance.
There is no manual on how to raise someone as special as Ivy. She is my pride and joy, but sometimes her disability takes a toll on both of us. But when I see her happy and carefree like today, it makes it all worth it. This is our second day here at Tiny Spirits, and I have brought with me my family. This is my daughter, Ivy, and this is Cherie, who has been with me since Ivy was 3 months old, helping me raise her. And I've been showing Ivy the little videos of the miniatures, and so she's very, very, very excited. Gale is waiting for us, and we're gonna get a little private tour of the ranch. Are you ready? Now, is this something that you typically do with children in wheelchairs?
Yes. We have done this many times before, and they're trained to understand the wheelchair and not react. Are you trying to touch him? That is so amazing. You want to go right?
Oh, you're going to show us where to go. Point to where you want to go, right or left. Can you point? Use your pointer. Use your pointing finger. This way? That way. Okay, she wants to go
job,
right.
Ivy. That's amazing. That is amazing.
So when we're done with our walk, you can show Wesley more magic. That's her favorite thing to do. my little magician.
Am I crowding you, Wesley? He says, I'm going to get stuck on the wheel of your chair. Did you see her shoes, Wesley?
Look at Wesley has shoes on too.
Yeah, he does. He's got tennis shoes. They're not as pretty as yours.
Thank you.
His are just, oh, he says, hello. Hello.
I love that he stops to check on her.
Yeah,
to make
let's
sure he's
just
not
stop
going
for a
too fast.
minute. And he wants to say hi. Oh, he says, you smell good, Ivy. Okay, let's go. Let's walk. Good boy, Wesley. He likes the way Ivy smells. Does she smell pretty? I think she smells pretty.
We've never walked with a horse before, so this
It's
is a new
unique,
experience
huh?
for all of us.
Yeah. Hi. He says hello. He's trying to figure out who she is too. So just like a human, they want to know who everyone is and make sure that everything's okay. Let's go.
So we are registered through Pet Partners, and they have a whole, which is the gold standard for therapy.
What's Pet Partners?
Pet
For those that are
Partners-
viewing right now.
Yeah, it's a national organization that registers therapy animals, and they register 9 different species of animals. So my mentor for this activity is in the Northwest, and she does therapy with llamas. Anyway,
Oh, that's probably neat too.
it is amazing. So you have to go through training, and then you have to get tested, and it's things like they have to be able to withstand crowds, they have to be able to be desensitized to obstacles, and have their feet picked up, they have to stand still. So all of that kind of stuff happens out here initially.
Which is important for people to know, that you can't just go get a miniature and think, okay, I'm going to be certified to do therapy. There's a long process between certification, classes, training. I mean, how long did it take you to train your 2 miniatures to go out and be around the world and others without being scared of a wheelchair or maybe a cane?
So Duet was my first miniature, the black mare, and it took me 9 months of training to get to the point where I felt like she could be evaluated by Pet Partners to be a registered therapy animal. So it starts here at home, but then we have partners in the community, Home Depot, Lowe's, downtown
Wait,
Summerlin.
you take them in there?
Yes, and it's awesome for the staff as well as the people that are there shopping.
Is that for noise control?
It's for noise. They have the forklifts with the beeping, and downtown Summerlin are the elevators. They're all trained to ride in elevators, and that's where we've been able to do a lot of that. So Samantha, over here I wanted to show you the training equipment that we use that gets our horses to a point where they can go into facilities, because none of this is familiar, obviously, to a horse, while it is second nature to you and I.
Yeah.
So they need to learn how to, for example, the walker, they need to learn that someone could come to them and be unstable and banging. They have to be able to tolerate that, or walk beside somebody with a walker. The same
I'm
thing.
sure that takes a lot of time to have them be familiar with, a walker, because that's not something that they're used to seeing.
It does, and the interesting thing is exposing them to that in different environments. It's one thing to do it in your backyard, it's another to take it out on the street, another to take it to the park. So all of those things are incorporated.
It's important to have them in different settings.
Yes, different settings for sure. The wheelchair is one of my favorite activities to do with the horses, and the wheelchair is with a person, the client in the chair, and I can easily attach a second lead to the horse, and we can go for walks, and it's very freeing for the client.
I'm sure they just love it. And they can pet the miniature.
They can pet them, and the horses will pace with the wheelchair. They're taught to stay in a certain spot on the wheelchair.
Do they tug? Like when you're walking a dog, how it kind of tugs on you?
No.
They don't tug at all.
No, they're trained not to.
That's nice.
Yes. So, and of course,
what do we have here?
Crutches. The main thing with crutches a lot of times is people drop them and they make loud noises. So we desensitize them to that, and just the motion, the irregular motion of somebody using crutches. And this is for the vision impaired, their stick. So I have clocked miles walking with the horses and this stick, making sure they tolerate it on all sides and that I can lean it on them and that they are not going to react.
And so when you go out to do these trainings, when you're using, for example, to guide so that they know where to go and they're walking, how long does that typically take, to train, to do it? Because I don't know too much, right, about what it takes to train these horses. What would that, does that take months to train with so that they're not scared of loud noises?
Not really. It didn't take months, but it takes revisiting, and all of this equipment does. You have to keep coming back to it and reinforcing the training that you've done. And they have to be able to tolerate somebody hitting, making noises. So we go around and we bang dumpsters, we hit curbs with it, all the things that they would experience at the facility.
So, and do you do a lot of your training here?
I do, yes.
In your home?
But also the parks and the stores.
That's nice.
Yes.
Anybody in need that is struggling right now, and so many of us are, particularly during the lockdowns and isolation, all they have to do is visit tinyspirits.org, and Gale's contact information is on there, and just fill out the form that's on the website to schedule a visit. And as soon as we're able to get out and about in the community, we have to be respectful of facilities that we visit, depending on what their COVID protocols are. But she is actively visiting some facilities now with masks and hand sanitizer and those kinds of things. But all they have to do is visit tinyspirits.org, and Gale's contact information is on there, and they can schedule a visit. Like I said earlier, Gale's heart is big, but she's a consummate professional. Like, she will never tell you the hours and the time, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, that has gone into training these horses. She's also a great dog trainer as well. But the hours that she has devoted to making sure the miniatures are able to be in a variety of settings and bring joy and connection and spirituality and healing to others is remarkable. There aren't too many Gales in the world, and we need more Gales.
There is so much work that goes into making sure these miniatures are trained, and I was lucky enough to experience it firsthand. Thank you so much, Gale, for having us over at your ranch. Seeing Westley interact with Ivy was an experience I'll never forget. Ivy loves playing hide and go seek, and when Westley tried to lift the blanket over, my heart just melted. And while the horses give, they don't expect anything in return. And while love can be received in so many different ways, sometimes receiving it in the tiniest form can hit home the hardest. I'm Samantha Cheon, but you can call me Sam with Spirit of Nevada. Brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm.